Alright, I've never really done a gig vlog before, any really kind of vlog. I kind of hate talking to the camera, so that's why. But I thought today would be a good day to try that out. My band 12th Street Jive is headed to a recording session today at the 970 West Library Studios. It's a free for the public studio at Mesa County Library, and we are being featured as their Artist of the Month for a segment they call Studio Lounge. Basically, every month they try to feature a different local musical artist that they shoot some live takes of in their studio. It's audio and video production. We're starting to do more of this kind of thing as a band. We've done some stuff like this at CMU as well. And yeah, I thought it'd be a good time to show kind of how we record and how we go about doing things like this. I guess I'll start talking about some of the gear we use. This is a pretty gear light gig, I guess. We don't have to bring any amps. We'll be running the bass and keys directly into the board, and then I'm going to be using one of their Black Star guitar amps because I'm going to a different rehearsal right after this, and I don't need an amp for that either. I'll be using my Gibson Les Paul for this gig. I usually use that for jazz stuff, and especially with this group. It's pretty simple. It's set up with some jazz chrome 12 gauge strings on it. Helps me get a nice round sound. We're doing one tune today that's a bit more straight ahead, and then one that is a little more contemporary. We've actually recorded that one before. It's called Untitled. Both of these tunes are written by our sax player, Mike Peconish. He's a great writer. Check out his other stuff that we've worked on. I will be using my pedal board, I think only on Untitled. I don't really want any effects, at least not on my board, on the new tune, which is called I'll Have My Usual. Like I said, it's kind of a straight ahead tune, so I'm going to try not to worry about that stuff, but I did bring the board so I can use some delays and a little bit of overdrive on Untitled. I think that'll work well. We'll be using a click track for I'll Have My Usual. There's a extended bass and saxophone intro where they play by themselves without the rest of the rhythm section. So we're just going to run that with a click to alleviate some timing issues. Like I said, I'm not bringing a lot of gear, but I do have our keyboard player's keyboard because he's coming later. He's in class until I think 10 minutes before the recording session starts, so he's going to try to get over here real quick. Our drummer is already here, and we're about to get set up. What's going on, Wyatt?
Metronomes. Behind the scenes.
Yeah, this is the B reel.
The B.
Yeah.
This is a little too real.
Get out of here.
I'm not. I'm sorry.
We should probably reset.
Yeah.
Do you guys still hear it?
Nope. Is it on?
Yeah, it's on right.
Wait, can you just play the right notes?
Yeah, dude, just play the right notes and rhythms. Jeez.
I know.
Yeah, we don't have that. He's not considering if it's in this area.
Alright, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, it was really nice not having to kind of fill the producer role in addition to playing on that like I often do when our band records. Yeah, it was nice to just get to focus on playing and let someone who's honestly a lot better of an engineer than I am do all of the technical stuff. I think one thing that is really cool about the way our band records and plays is that we do everything live. So unlike a rock band trying to do live takes, which is different, than how they'll actually record. Usually a rock band or pop group will lay down tracks individually and then do lots of overdubs and punch-ins. We don't really ever do that when we record. We just do everything live. It makes it a lot easier from an editing standpoint because you don't really get to edit that much. But it also means that when we do have to do live stuff like this, or when we just play gigs, I think we're so used to playing in that way that it's pretty easy. And at the studio, they really appreciate that level of just playing together. That doesn't mean it was a perfect recording session. I know there's some stuff I wish I would have played better. We only got to do 2 takes of each tune, but honestly, I don't really think it would have been better if we played another time. It really just comes down to how well you have, or how well rehearsed you are, and how well practiced you are in your individual part. And in a style like the styles we play in, which are mostly jazz-based, at least somehow, with a lot of improvisation, there's only so much practicing you can do. I practiced, soloing over the changes on my solo. I'll have my usual, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to have my solo written down or memorized even. I'll have a general roadmap and how I want to build it, but a lot of that is still in the moment in the recording studio. Recording always makes me want to practice more and always want to get better at what I'm doing, because that's when your level of musicianship really comes out, I think.